Live here from Homestead, Miami Speedway. This is the Slide Jawb Racing League, and we're here for a track that I absolutely love.
Caden?
I'm Josh Coppernell. I'm joined by Dawson Allen.
I made an error.
I'm doing great tonight, Josh. Excited for another exciting run here in the Slide Jawb Racing League. This time, though, we're going to go for some points rather than it just being a race for a little bit of bragging rights. So this one should be a good one tonight.
Yeah, no bragging rights on the line like last week with the All-Star race, of course, which we saw at Bristol, but points on the line, back to what these guys are used to doing, and this is an exciting track anyway to come to and watch these guys put on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing with Homestead is it's great because it's a double groove. It's a multi-groove track. You know, you can get the people that are working on the bottom. You'll have guys that'll try to work it on that top lane. So it'll kind of bounce around and, fluctuate between where that line's going to be and who's going to have the runs and who's going to be able to, make it work. So it'll be very fun to see just how these drivers do tonight, how they're able to handle it, and, who can make what work.
One thing that... it's going to be very interesting for me to see what will work is the drivers that are using that high line. How close to that wall are they going to get? Are they going to, be rim riding or running the Kyle Larson or Tyler Reddick line? Or, maybe a little bit off the wall?
Well, they say they rip the lip, and I think that's what we're going to see tonight. Is we're going to see some guys up there riding that wall, as close to it as they can possibly get. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to push a little too hard and maybe step over that line a little bit, and that's what we're going to see throughout the night as this race goes on, as these runs go on. These guys are going to push for everything they've got, and they're going to run that close to that wall, and they're going to end up, maybe getting it a couple times. So it's almost like Darlington. You want to run up towards the top because there's more speed up at the top sometimes. So you'll see a lot of guys with a little bit of damage, maybe, as this race goes on.
Watching here in practice, Bridger Olson, currently P1 on the practice charts. Bridger, he's shown that he has speed early on in this series, in the season. And he's been doing really good every race you put him at, and he's definitely not showing any sign of slowing down here so far, as he is almost 400s faster than P2 Zach Amon.
Somebody I want to talk about that I know, at least from experience in other racing leagues that I have seen, the driver of the 8, Noah Mayuri, he is currently 8th fastest in this practice session right now. 4th of 14 so far on speed charts, but he's somebody that I've seen race here and somebody that I've seen do well here. So no shocker to me that he's going to be up near the top. I think you might want to watch that 8 car near the end of this race. We might see him in victory lane.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you knew of Noah before a particular race that I'm about to talk about, but the first time I saw Noah Mayuri was in a truck series. It was a fixed setup series, and Noah showed up, absolutely dominated that Homestead race, and took the checkered flag. Different race vehicle that we'll see tonight. Of course, like I said, that was trucks. These are the Cup cars. But, this track, the way you drive it with the different vehicles is different, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same thing. Whether you're riding up near the wall, trying to wrap that yellow line. So I absolutely agree. Noah Mayuri, he has lost a position in practice charts, now down to P5, but I agree. He is definitely one to watch out for tonight. We know he is fast at the intermediate tracks anyway. This being a 1.5 mile long track, I think this fits right into his wheelhouse. Ben Lacey currently sitting P3, another driver that you always got to watch out for. He is a fast race car driver himself, and he's had a pretty good season. Of course, won at Phoenix, and I know you weren't there for the Phoenix race with me, Dawson, but to the viewers at home, and in case you don't remember, Ben Lacey, of course, he was on a mission, spun out on his own, didn't take any damage, worked his way back up to the front, and stole victory away from Zach Amon in the closing laps. But, 2 minutes left in practice here, Dawson. Who do you think gets it done tonight? Who do you think is the winner of tonight's race?
Well, I'm going in blind here. All I've got to base it off of is the All-Star race. That's the only thing I can base it off of about any kind of performance. But at the same time, I've got one guy that I saw race before here at this track, and I've seen him do well at it. So my money is on Noah Maori to get the job done here to win this race tonight. And that would set him, I believe, as the 6th different winner on the season.
Yeah, and that is a great pick. Absolutely, Noah Maori. Very good pick. I think he is one that can get it done. And, the rules state, the JCTV rules state that we have to pick different drivers. So, I can't pick Noah, but I think he is definitely going to be one to compete here. I'm gonna go with Zach Amon. I don't think there is any driver that is more hungry than he is right now, because he's ran up front so much to begin with this season, and like I said, he came so close to winning at Phoenix before just having that race taken away from him at the end, which it was off tire strategy, where Ben Lacey had a little bit fresher tires than Amon at the end. I think Amon, he's hungry, he wants to win. Zach Amon, race winner tonight.
Well, as the session gets ready to wrap up here, it looks like the field is at 15 here at Homestead. Robert Lucan's the only one not to post a practice time. So now we go into qualifying, and we'll get to see how some of these drivers are able to fare.
Yes, qualifying has started, and does not appear any movement on track just yet. Track temp, 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Dawson, that tells me it's going to be slick out there.
Indeed it will be. We got our first car moving. It looks like Michael Thorpe Jr. and Zach Amon are both rolling, that 34 and that 54, both now rolling off of pit road to go try to set a qualifying time. So we'll see. First two off of pit road, ready to go. 21 of Austin McGill now rolling off of pit road. But the 34 is going to be the first one to set a lap time here. He'll get his green flag for qualifying.
Running the middle through 1 and 2 here. Drifted up towards the wall a bit. A little bit surprised to see him wrapping the apron in 3 and 4. And Thorpe will go P1.
That come on, hits the stripe that time. He'll take the P1 spot just barely by 0.007 seconds. He takes the top spot here. I believe the next car to come around instead of lap, Austin McGill wrapping the bottom here through 3 and 4.
McGill won the pole award at Pocono. We go back to Michael Thorpe, who improves his time. It is a 33.355 out of that 34. And Amon does not overtake Thorpe, so Thorpe still in the P1 position in qualifying.
I'm going to complete his qualifying is the 21 of Austin McGill. He will go the second on his second lap. Meanwhile, Noah Maori sets the third fastest lap on his first go around, it looks like, as he's going around now to complete his second lap. This 8 car heading into 3 and 4 now. See some more cars rolling off. The 02 of Bridger Olson now rolling. The 7 of Ben Lacey, and I believe that is the 17 of Brian Dees. He is now on track as well, looking to set a qualifying lap. But at the line that time, Noah Maori improves to a 33.254. That is pole position for the 8 car for now.
Watching Ben Lacey, he was rolling the high line through 3 and 4. This is going to complete his first lap. Ben Lacey, P5 so far. Kind of
Brian Dees dropping in P6. I'm wondering, though, the 02 did have a pretty, not a good lap, I should say, a 39.8, but it did not count. Wondering if there was some wall contact for this 02 car to keep from setting that first lap time, but we'll see. Coming through 3 and 4 to set the second lap time. If he can, it'll be a 33.291. That's good for second. Ty Marasco sets the 7th fastest time there. In his first lap, Ben Lacey goes to 3rd on the speed charts. And then Brian Dees takes that spot right away from him. So right now, Ty Marasco. And then after that, it looks like he is the only one that's out on track that's going to be able to set a qualifying time, because if anybody else gets out here, they're not going to have enough time to qualify. I don't see anybody else rolling. The 6 of Derek Paulson is on pit road, as is the 41 of Dalton Kilrow, but they are not actively setting a lap time. That time, though, at the line, Ty Marasco improves a spot. He's P7 after that qualifying run. A 33.390 puts him 7th. But with 14 seconds to go, 8 guys have set a lap. It looks like everybody else is going to be unable to do so. And so that will end up doing it for qualifying.
And you know, it's a little bit funny here. That your pick to win, fastest on the board. My pick to win, qualified 8th out of the 8 that have taken a time. So with that being said, Noah Maori is your pole winner here at Homestead. Already, you built your case for him, and already looking good for you.
We'll have to see, though. That's all dependent on how this race goes for this 8 car.
We go ahead and look at our starting grid. Starting on the pole, Noah Maori with Bridger Olson to his outside. Brian Dees will start from the inside of row 2 with points leader Ben Lacey starting P4 and Michael Thorpe Jr. starting in P5.
Starting in 6th position, it's that 21 of Austin McGill. In 7th, it's the 1 car of Ty Marasco. Then in 8th is Zach Amon in the 54. And then rounding out your top 10, in 9th is Caden Atkins. And then 10th is Dalton Kilrow.
Starting in 11th is going to... This is, I do apologize. We are having some issues, but I'm showing 11th is going to be William Martin, 12th Robert Lukens, 13th Caden Atkins, 14th Zach Probst, and 15th Jacob Locklear is the remaining 5 in this 15-car grid.
Don't know what's showing you that one there. From my end, and it looks like on your end as well, Josh, it's showing Zach Probst starting 11th, Derek Paulson 12th, William Martin 13th, Jacob Locklear is 14th, and Robert Lukens 15th. But obviously looks like some scoring issues.
Yeah, I'm showing something a little bit different here. Anyway, field is rolling.
Noticing
33 laps make up the race distance. Go ahead, Dawson.
Gonna say, noticing 2 cars not on the grid there. The 62 of Zach Probst and the 84 of Jacob Locklear not on the grid there, so will not be on this one. And so something to note here, just heard over the driver comms with the race officials, Michael Thorpe Jr. is going to have a pass-through penalty after the events of Auto Club, so he will have to serve a pass-through at the green flag. So 34 is going to start with a handicap early here, going to have to go down pit road. But as the pace car makes that hard left turn, the green flag is going to fly, and we're underway here at Homestead.
And an even start out of the 2 teammates out front. Noah Mary, the pole winner. Bridger Olson, P2. Olson's going to find a way to the bottom. And they're already singling out. Looks like Michael Thorpe might have gotten a little loose off turn 2. He's trying to get to the bottom regardless. Wants to serve his penalty as soon as possible. Back up front, it is Noah Mayuri who leads the first lap here at Homestead.
Well, the 34 makes his pass through. Rest of the field, 12 cars storming down the back straightaway here at Homestead.
They are all trying to find that bottom lane early on. Few drivers towards the back. Rim riding, but for the most part, it seems like the bottom is what's working so far.
And that very well could change as his run goes on, as it grips up a little more. That top lane will soon become the line that people are going to want to run. Kind of a back and forth right now. Some of these guys going down to the bottom, and some guys trying to roll that top lane to see if they can't make something work. You see a gaggle of 3 cars, the 21, the 1, and the 6. That's Austin McGill, Ty Marasco, and Derek Paulson. They're all right there together. They're kind of bouncing around between the bottom and the top. As you see, a battle is going on for that 6th position between McGill and Marasco.
And insert a bunch of other cars. They're heading into the picture here. Right now, Marasco trying to edge ahead of McGill. He is able to. Look at this run that Derek Paulson from the 6 is getting.
21 thought about it. McGill thought about trying to cross him over and set him up to get to the bottom, and 3 and 4 couldn't quite do it. And just like that, move that 1 car up a spot. Now he's into 6th, but the battle is still ongoing McGill still all over Marasco's back bumper. Now he's got company from behind by Dalton Kilrow, who has made the pass on it's Paulson and Kilrow that are running right there. Those cars all the same, pretty much running that similar paint scheme in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October. So definitely going to be a little confusing here as this race goes on.
Ooh, McGill. A little moment there. Off turn 4. Got loose. McGill doing a great job wrapping the bottom. A little bit better than Marasco was. Not able to do anything with that, but here comes Paulson. Paulson elects not take the run going into turn 3. Going back to the high side here.
Up front, battle for the lead. Mayuri may have slipped a little bit. That's opened the door. Bridger Olson to the outside lane, going for the race lead here at lap number 7.
Bridger Olson rolling that high line. Getting around Noah Mayuri. And we have a new leader here. Brian Dees,
Now is
Ben Lacey, and Zach Amon all right there as well. This battle for the lead is not over yet.
See that 17 of Brian Dees pushing to the inside. Mayuri's drifted up a couple lanes now, running that higher groove, but it's just not able to pay off right yet. He loses second spot to Brian Dees. Now here comes the 7 of Ben Lacey going to go for third on that 8 car, and then behind them the 54 of Zach Amon now to the inside as well as Mayuri drifts way up the track, right up to that top groove.
Mary could either be testing out the high line right now and just not liking it, or just kind of driving up there and getting out of the way, getting behind traffic, just kind of riding right now, letting the car come to him, get a few laps under his belt before he really goes out there to start making moves, feeling comfortable, kind of settling in. Still very early in this race, and even though you know how to run a track and you can feel very comfortable doing so, sometimes you still just unaware of some of the things that are happening. Temperature changes. Right now, track temp is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and that plays a favor into it. A little bit of a slicker track. It's hot. These tires, they're going to be really hot once these teams pull them off. And
Austin McGill just had a moment off of turn 2, spun down to the inside, was able to keep it going, but a lot of spots and a lot of time lost for this 21 car. He drops back to 12th. Still loose.
I've been noticing Austin has been struggling with a loose car. And that could very well...
I don't know if that was... Oh, that wasn't loose. That was getting a little bit of help. Contact with a 1 of Ty Marasco. Got his car upset, and then finally he just slid to that inside lane there and was able to get back going. But all in all, he lost all his positions, and he finds himself in the 12th position now, losing time to the rest of the field.
Let's see if we can pull up the replay here.
I think that was a lap prior to that incident, but
Caution
flag flies. It's the 51 of Zach Amon around on the back straightaway to bring out the first yellow of the race, and a big break for the 34 of Michael Thorpe Jr., who was well back compared to the leaders. It looks like just a spin off of turn 2 this time. It's what we saw the 21 do, except he didn't have any help. Just gets a little loose, hits the wall, and around he goes. He had it all but saved that slide right there. It's almost like he stops right there to get the caution, stopping right on the white line. But you'll see it here. Bit of a bobble, gets the wall. And then right here he slides. Look like he gets it straight. But then right here, just locks it up and parks it right there on that white line. And then away he rolls again. So as the leaders come down, looks like a couple guys are opting to come to pit road. Bridger Olson, Noah Mayori, that's the 99 back there of William Martin. Then behind him, it looks like it's Robert Lukens, and of course, Zach Amon's going to come down pit road after that slide there. So Brian Dees takes over the race lead with Ben Lacey, Derek Paulson, Dalton Kilrow, Ty Marasco, the top 5. Looks like 8 drivers stayed out. The rest came down pit road.
Appears that it was a fuel-only stop for Bridger Olson. I saw the left sides going up on Noah Mary's number 8 car. Interesting strategy calls so far. But it will be Brian Dees, race leader, when we do go back green. And he's got the points leader, Ben Lacey, right behind him. Lights on the pace car do go out. These guys go 2 by 2. For Ben Lacey, he sees nothing but MF Racing Design drivers all around him. First, third, fourth, fifth. Ben Lacey's kind of a lone wolf out there next to all these guys, the top 5.
Yeah, surrounded by the pink and white brigade. As you see, of the top 5, only 1 driver is not a part of that group there. Just so many different drivers out here. And we'll see MFRD, all up there. Everybody right there together with Ben Lacey stuck in between it all in second. It's coming through 3 and 4. We're going to look to see the pace car make that left turn back down pit road. Heading towards the Geico restart zone, the field is in the hands of Brian Dees, who will mash the gas down, and we're back underway here at Homestead. Oh, and a wheel spin in the back, just a little bit by Zach Hamon. Able to get back going, though, as the 17 of Brian Dees leads the field into turn 1.
Ben Lacey, he was able to get down to the bottom. Teammates battling behind, though.
Double! 21 car around Austin McGill. Bridger Olson's in it.
We stay green.
How we stay green after that is a shocker to be sure, but Bridger Olson getting the worst end of that deal, getting spun into by the loose 21 car of Austin McGill. That winds up sending him to the infield, into the inside wall, but no caution.
Very unfortunate there. Just McGill dealing with a very loose race car. We go back to live timing here. Brian Dees still the race leader. Ben Lacey not allowing Dees to pull away at all. Robert Lukens, though, he took tires. He took 4 fresh tires at that last stop. And he is up to P8 right now. trying to get around this slower traffic that's on older tires.
Battle for fourth, battle for third, actually. Ty Marasco and Derek Paulson side by side heading down the back straightaway. These two teammates are going at it. Paulson running the top, Marasco running the bottom now. Paulson clears. Marasco is going to get back behind him into the fourth position, excuse me. But you see there, closing for the race lead, Ben Lacey is still right there, going to try to catch Brian Dees.
Still side by side for Paulson and Marasco. Marasco had a great exit through 4. And Marasco gonna slide up in front of Derek Paulson. Paulson with a huge run down the back stretch.
Yeah, and he's going to take back to that high side, though. He's going to keep rolling the top lane. It made it work for a little bit there. So he's definitely going to try to rubber that in and see if he can't make it work some more. But that's going to let Dalton Kilroe start to close the gap on his teammate here. As these laps wind down, lap 21 now up on the board here at Homestead. Oh! A bobble by the 6 off the top lane. Dalton Kilroe now to 4th. The 6 car with an issue in turn 1. It's almost like the back end stepped out in the middle of 1 and 2. He had to chase it down the track, but he was able to gather it up and keep it going. But losing a spot to Dalton Kilroe. Now Robert Lukens and Caden Atkins are right there behind him.
Robert Lukens, as I said, is on those fresh tires. You know, these guys, 22 lap old tires doesn't seem like much, but you're seeing the difference that it does make here.
Lower car on the back straightaway, the 21. Austin McGill is just not having a good race. Got loose again on the exit at 2, slid back down to the apron on the back straightaway, but kept it going. So no cautions or anything, but just not a good run going for Austin McGill.
McGill, heck, he's not had good luck at all this season. Just so many things going wrong for Austin J. McGill. Currently P11 here.
Paulson is committed to this top lane. And a new issue! Ty Marasco into the inside wall on the front straightaway. He got loose on the exit of 4 and just clipped that inside wall. It looked like, at least it looked like he got it. But that's a close one there. I'll have to double check and see. Indeed, he did. A pretty good contact for that 1 car.
Man, and more issues for McGill. It's right there beside Marasco and just almost lost it out of turn 2.
These are really heating up here from 3rd through 6th. Dalton Kilroe holds the 3rd spot. Robert Lukens in 4th. Derek Paulson battling Caden Atkins. That's for 5th. And that's allowed Noah Maori in 7th to close the gap. So now, tight racing and almost wrecking Dalton Kilroe, but there is the spitter. Derek Paulson almost spun out, saved it, and they keep it going. But man, they are really getting loose now. Robert Lukens the 3rd. Kilroe drops back to 4th. Atkins is in 5th. Maori 6th. William Martin now runs to the outside of Paulson, who got loose again off of 4. That drops the 6th car back to 8th.
A couple of drivers came down pit road. See there, Paulson just loose once again. Austin J. McGill currently down pit road.
I wouldn't be shocked if anybody else follows down pit road after this here soon. The way some of these guys are racing, it's getting really, really loose. And it's getting really hard to drive for some of these guys. So we may end up seeing some more guys coming down pit road here as time goes on.
And I'm watching track temp, and it is coming down ever so slightly. Last update I gave, Was 100 degrees Fahrenheit, currently 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So coming down, but still hot temperature will equal slick tires, and that and the setup these guys are running definitely plays into factor here as well. These guys, they really have to be on their toes here not to have too many issues.
I'm watching this cat and mouse game between Ty Marasco and Derek Paulson for 8th. Ty Marasco would gain time because Paulson gets loose in 1 and 2, and then Marasco would get loose in 3 and 4, and you see now the 6 is sideways again, going into 3 and 4, trying to hunt down Ty Marasco.
And Paulson's going to have Michael Thorpe Jr. right there battling with him. Thorpe slowly inserting himself into the picture.
Not to mention, after serving that penalty, at the drop of the green flag, having to serve a pass-through penalty. And, now to getting that caution and running 10th right now. So he'll have to really get rolling, though, but he's still got plenty of time to go. We're not even at 100 laps to go yet.
Robert Lukens closing in on P2, Ben Lacey. You see Brian Dees, he's really pulled out a pretty big lead here. So it takes some time for Robert Lukens to get up to Brian Dees if he's able to, but right here, Robert Lukens making it look easy getting around that 7 machine. Ben Lacey, 4P2. Ben Lacey rolling the high line, though, trying not to give it up too easy. Robert Lukens going to take over P2 and start to pull away down the backstretch.
I'll tell you what's been interesting, watching some of these guys that didn't pit, you would think that they would be struggling a little more, but some of these guys are setting faster laps in the 20 car. Dalton Kilroe, Noah Maori have been setting faster lap times, and I see another issue for the 6 of Derek Paulson side by side with Michael Thorpe Jr. for 9th. It looked like he got a little loose there, and he is going to get loose even more out of turn 4. Just more struggles for that 6 car, but noticing too, Dalton Kilroe, Noah Maori, and Ben Lacey, 3 wide. The 41 is sideways in turn 2. Saves it, gets it straight, but that allows Noah Maori to jump up to 4th and battle for 3rd.
We had a lot going on there all at the same time. That 6 machine of Derek Paulson did actually cut back across the track, hit the outside wall, and completely lose it coming back down to the inside. We stayed green as Paulson was out of the racing surface. Nobody was around him. Paulson has towed to pit road. Very unfortunate for the driver of the 6 machine here.
Battle for 4th. Dalton Kilroe, Ben Lacey, still side by side now. Kilroe will pull to the bottom in front of that 7 car. He will take over the 4th spot as Ben Lacey now falls back to 5th with the 6th place car of Caden Atkins running in 6th. He's about a second back. So he's got a little bit of ground to make up to catch up for that top 5 spot. But that's allowed Robert Lukens into 2nd, and Noah Maori is 3rd now. And Maori has been running faster laps in the 20 car of Robert Lukens. So Maori has been fast. He's been the fastest car on track a couple laps here recently. So interesting to see how this 8 car will do here as this run continues on.
And Noah Maori once again putting down the fastest lap out of every driver. They are reeling in race leader Brian Dees, though. And I'm kind of wondering if Brian Dees may have pushed his tires a little bit, trying to get a 2-second gap on the field. But he's doing a really good job holding his own.
Could very well be the case, but I see the 21 of Austin McGill on the apron. Don't know if that's coming off. The 1, Ty Marasco, is going a lap. He's going to be pitting here, excuse me. He pulls it down pit road. I believe he's going to be the first to try to drag some more down pit road to get that first tire change going. But that will all be dependent on how these drivers feel as we hit lap 37.
And Ty Marasco is already out of his stall, taking the access road. And get back up to speed. See here just how fast Austin McGill is compared to these other guys now with those fresh tires. I have to imagine it's not long before the rest of these guys decide it's time. Seeing that 21 go past them this easy, it's not easy to watch when you are in the position of the 20 or coming up the 17 who's leading this race, Brian Dees.
The gap, half a second now, between Robert Lukens and Brian Dees. 20 cars slowly reeling him in, pulling closer and closer. He's been setting about 0.3 of a second faster lap times. Mayuri has set a 0.4 second faster lap time, so both those guys have been closing.
Watching lap times. That last time by, it was very similar. Out of Brian Dees, Robert Lukens. And Lacey trying to battle with Dalton Kilrow here for P4.
Even with them getting spread out, there's still some battles going on through the field. But mainly the battle for the lead, it's still heating up. 0.2 of a second faster for Robert Lukens at last lap.
We still await to see if these guys are going to come down pit road. We know Robert Lukens, he can afford to wait a little bit longer than a guy like Brian Dees, who has yet to come down pit road. So when does Brian Dees show his hand? See here through 3 and 4. Lukens and race leader Dees running very similar lines.
Yeah, still kind of similar here. Things are still starting to even out there for Lukens' tires as this run continues. But still holding strong. Brian Dees holding the race lead.
The other thing I'm wondering about here is if Robert Lukens, that it's just his car not liking Brian Dees' dirty air. See Lukens getting loose off turn 4. Run a little bit higher line through 1 and 2.
And if you look in the background of this battle, you'll see the 1, Ty Marasco. He just passed Noah Mayuri, and now he is closing in on second and first. course, he's a lap down. He took tires there, so gonna feel like Superman for a little bit as he flies by the leaders here. Side by side now clear of Robert Lukens, now heading to go past the leader, Brian Dees, in the 17.
You see Brian Dees just lets him have the bottom and easily get past. Oh, Robert Lukens loose off turn 2. Going to chase it down to the apron. Saves it. That's going to cost him momentum. And here is Noah Mayuri now looking at second place. Brian Dees comes down pit road. Lukens will inherit the lead.
Ben Lacey on pit road as well, almost hitting the barrels, coming to pit road, a close call for the 7 car.
Noah Mayuri right on the back bumper of Robert Lukens now. Lukens looks high through 3 and 4. Mayuri looks low.
Another car on pit road, the 02, Bridger Olson. Looks like that'll be it for all the drivers coming down pit road as of so far. I believe maybe the 99, William Martin. Slow, but it looks like it's just bobbling there out of turn 4 for him. Battle for the lead. Here comes Noah Mayuri right there with Robert Lukens.
I think I saw a little bit of a slide as well out of Robert Lukens out of 4.
The driver nearly missing the pit barrels. The 2 of Caden Atkins, almost hitting the pit barrels, coming to pit road. He is on pit road now, getting his service done. But the battle still intense for the race lead. Robert Lukens still leading Noah Mayuri here through 3 and 4. And you got to wonder, is Mayuri getting close to pitting now? He is on the same strategy as the others. You see a little bobble there out of 3 and 4. And back in the background there is Brian Dees in the 17. He is a lap down in 6th place right now, about to close up and get his lap back from leaders. Robert Lukens sideways into Noah Mayuri. Somehow they both save it. And Brian Dees rolls up to the scene. A car on the wall in the background. That's Zach Amon. Slam the outside wall behind the race leaders. But Noah Mayuri takes the race lead after the slide from the 20 of Robert Lukens. On pit road now is the 41, Dalton Kilrow. He has come to the attention of his team to get service done on that car. A very terrifying situation for Noah Mayuri. That 20 car got sideways, and he got loose and then almost hooked the 8 car into the wall. So a scary situation for that 8 car Noah Mayuri, but you see it looks like he is slowing up on the apron. Maybe not just yet.
That was Austin McGill.
Yeah, I saw Zach Amon, another issue in the background, back into the wall again on the exit of Ford. It's not a good run for this 54 car of Zach Amon. As Dalton Kilrow goes by, the 51 drifting up yet again towards the wall. Not a good run going right now for that 54 car. Back out front now, Noah Mayuri comes to pit road. And it looks like the 20 is going to follow. Robert Lukens going to stick with them, but very close to those pit barrels. He's just going to miss them. And he will. That'll hand the lead over to William Martin, who looks like he's going to stay on the racetrack.
And William Martin last came down 39 laps ago.
William Martin, 38 laps since he last pit. Ty Marasco, who finds himself in the 2nd position. Spinner, caution! Caution is out! And it again is the 54 of Zach Amon. And that takes out Caden Atkins. He got loose in 2 and hits the 2 car. And Caden Atkins noses into the outside wall, spins it down towards the apron. And that brings out the caution. So, one driver is so grateful for this one, and that is the 99 of William Martin. But here's the big thing. It's been 17 laps since Ty Marasco pit. And does he pit again here under this caution?
I don't think so, Dawson, because the tire sets these guys have in the pits is not a lot. They don't have a lot of tire sets to play with.
Yeah, if he doesn't pit, that should put... well, actually, it looks like the 2 car is going to be trapped a lap down, I believe. As the way they cycled, though, I couldn't tell fully. Actually, it looks like everybody got back on the lead lap under that caution. But you see the 9, the 1 spinning coming to pit road. Haves it, though. Ty Marasco is going to come to pit road, but he almost spun it out and coming down. So that will give the race lead back to Brian Dees after everybody cycles through. And so the 17 car to the race lead. How about Michael Thorpe in 2nd? Dalton Kilroe 3rd, Ben Lacey 4th, and Noah Mary comes out 5th. It looks like he got out ahead of Robert Lukens there. Was able to maintain that spot, and I now see that Bridger Olson will get the lap back. Looks like they got the free pass, while Caden Atkins is going to have to get the wave around.
So this is the Slide Jawbs Fast Talk 200. If you have a Spotify account, or for that matter, listen to anything on Spotify, go to Spotify and listen to the Slide Jawbs Fast Talk. A little podcast these guys have. Definitely check that out.
Just 10 cars left running in this race. Zach Amon is disconnected. Austin Miguel is out of here. Derek Paulson left earlier as well. So we got 10 cars rolling. All 10 are going to be in the lead lap when the 2 car of Caden Atkins waves around. Been a little chaotic, don't you think? What do you say we get a word in with Brian Dees if we can here, Josh?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk to Brian Dees. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian Dees.
Go ahead, Dawson.
Hey, Brian Dees. This is Dawson and Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How's it going?
We're doing great. So halfway through this race, just about almost, I should say, you were able to get the lead back after Pitt cycled out. What was that run like there, that first green flag stint?
I think the main thing was keeping the tires underneath you. You burn them up, it starts getting real loose real quick. So that's the main thing. It helps that I didn't try to restart in first gear and take out the whole field right off the bat this week. So that's a bonus.
Yeah, indeed it is. And we saw, you were able to cycle back out, but now you're going to have to worry a little bit because some of those guys are on a little bit fresher tires. You pit 10 laps ago. Some of those guys behind you just pit recently. So is that going to cause any concerns for you on this run as the run goes on? Some of these guys are going to have a little bit fresher tires.
I think I'm probably going to end up losing the lead. But I'll probably just sit back, go with the same strategies, just try to save my tires. Hopefully those guys burn them up a little bit, and hopefully towards the end of the run I'll be able to come back at them.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back with your team. Getting ready to restart here. Best of luck. Hope to talk to you later.
I appreciate it. Sounds good to me.
And that was Brian Dees, your current race leader. As we get ready to go back green here. coming through 3 and 4. Getting ready to watch that pace car. Hook it left, head down pit road. He hooks it left a lot later than some of the drivers do. Brian Dees, Michael Thorpe Jr., the front row. The green flag is back out in the air, and we're back racing here at Homestead.
Look at Bridger Olson, a man on the mission already. Up a few positions from where he restarted at and already attacking 3 wide.
Bridger Olson got wrecked out earlier with contact from the 21 of Austin McGill, now pushing towards the front of the field once more, but somebody else is pushing towards the front of the field. Dalton Kilrow on the inside line, battling with teammate Brian Dees for the race lead. Side by side still through 1 and 2, but Kilrow's going to advance here on the bottom lane. You'll see him slide up. Dalton Kilrow back to the front here at Homestead.
And Michael Thorpe right there in the picture as well. Thorpe, he stays in line with these two.
Not only Thorpe, Ben Lacey, Ty Marasco's right there too. Caden Atkins and Bridger Olson right there as well. Not that far off. You see that 7-car, Ben Lacey diving to the inside, going to try to peek for third. He'll get to the inside of Michael Thorpe Jr. along with Ty Marasco. They're trying to move up, and you see Marasco contact with Thorpe. Little tight there coming on the exit of 2. Contact makes that 0-2 of Bridger Olson back off, but that allows Ben Lacey to jump to third.
And insert Caden Atkins into the picture as well. Caden Atkins a little loose underneath the O2.
Michael Thorpe got wicked loose there, a lot more loose than everybody else. You'll see the 0-2. Bridger Olson dive to the bottom to get underneath this 34 car. The handling's starting to go away now as the longer this car is on those tires. Excuse me. He is slowly going to lose it here as he drops another spot from 2nd now to 6th after that restart. The battle for 3rd quickly taken over. Ty Marasco moves up into the 3rd position. Right now it's an MFRD 1 through 3.
3 wide going into turn 1. They're going to be 3 wide once again. This is Caden Atkins, Robert Lukens, and Michael Thorpe Jr. Thorpe backs out of it, still side by side between Lukens and Atkins.
Pressure still, battle's ongoing. Everybody wants any spot they can take. They're going to fight hard. Like the 34 is going to slide a little bit, almost sideways. He's able to gather it back up, but he's going to lose another spot to Noah Mayuri in the 8 car. He'll drop back to 9th, but up front, it's still Dalton Kilrow.
Dalton Kilrow probably thankful he is up here and not back there. Kilrow, though, he has Brian Dees not too far behind, and that last lap, Ty Marasco in P3 was faster than anybody else on track.
Have a driver that came back out of the garage. Derek Paulson back out on track, 24 laps down. Wondering if he might be just going for some positions here. He can take up to 11th as of right now. He's only 2 laps behind Austin McGill. After that, another 5 laps, it looks like, to Zach Amon in 11th. So this 6 car may just be riding it out for some positions. And then may also ride it out the rest of the way. 3 wide battle. William Martin to 7th. That looked like an aggressive move. Had a huge run down the back and shot between Lukens and Mayuri. Move that 99 car up to 7th.
William Martin is a man on a mission.
William Martin, that 99 Affleck Ford, reminiscent of Carl Edwards' tenure there at Roush Fenway Racing. Back when they were still Roush Fenway, not Roush Fenway Keselowski, and you see him chasing up the track there through 3 and 4 just a little bit, but he's able to maintain some good speed, closing up on the 2 of Caden Atkins. This is for the 6th position.
Caden Atkins loose. Martin gonna take it to the inside. Atkins wanted to block a little bit there. And Atkins gonna pinch. They make contact. Still contact.
Oh, they're leaning on each other.
Caden Atkins gonna roll the high line, trying to use that higher line momentum. He's gonna get loose though.
Atkins sliding sideways, able to save it. Here comes Lukens trying to the inside. He'll pass that 2 car as well, dropping back. And just like that, Atkins goes from 6th to 9th. Looks like he may have rode the wall a little bit there as he is pushing for everything he's got left. He falls back. Michael Thorpe as well back there. You notice too that 34 car, he went from 2nd on the restart all the way back to last. But the battle for 2nd now. Ty Marasco. Oh, he gets into Brian Dees! Into the back of his teammate. Dees goes down to the apron, gets it recovered, but a spot lost for the 17. Contact with him and Marasco that puts Brian Dees back to 3rd.
Trying to get a replay of what happened here. It's not wanting to show, but we stay green.
William Martin still pushing to the outside of Noah Mayuri, and he's going to slide there on the exit of 4, dropping to the apron. He's going to drop the spot to Robert Lukens now. William Martin dropping back to 8th. Meanwhile, up front, though, Dalton Kilrow is checking out still ahead of teammate Ty Marasco.
Ty Marasco just a little bit faster than Dalton Kilrow, though, that last time by. We'll see. Here, Marasco's able to chase down Kilrow.
Ooh, battling back in the back might lead to a little bit of trouble. Caden Atkins, William Martin, they have been swapping it back and forth here. Oh my goodness. This 2 car got loose and slid up in front of William Martin and just about spun out in front of him. Very tight racing between the 2 of them. As this battle is for 8th, they are fighting like it's for the lead in the last lap.
And we are just past halfway as well. There is 64, coming to 63 laps to go in this race. Atkins loose, gonna catch the wall. And lose position to Michael Thorpe.
Here's your update on the last laps run by the leaders. Dalton Kilroy ran a 34.3 stick. Ty Marasco ran a 34.359. 1/1000th of a second difference between the 2 leaders here. They're running nearly identical lap times.
One thing for Marasco is he is almost in the draft of Dalton Kilrow, which could speed up his car just a little bit to help him catch Kilrow a little bit faster. Seems as though things are starting to spread out a bit between the front runners. Still a little bit of close proximity for these drivers in the back. William Martin, P7, leading this train.
I will say the benefits of being a broadcaster for iRacing is you can hop out and just see how hard it is to drive these cars. And let me tell you, this track is slick. Very, very slick here. just trying to battle to see, how hard it is to drive it through the corners, and you can just see it's so hard. It is such a slick track. Now, something I noticed it looked like tire smoke in 3 and 4. That might have just been my end from where I lost it test driving. But it's telling you, it's a slick track. It's really hard to navigate this track, and these guys are putting on a show and doing a good job here as we wind the laps down. I'm noticing that this 41 is maintaining a faster pace than Ty Marasco.
And we do have battle for P3 starting to heat up. Ben Lacey right there with Brian Dees. Lacey all over the back bumper of Brian Dees. Looks to the inside, down the front stretch. To the inside, Brian Dees. Trying to pinch Lacey down a little bit. Lacey drifts up. Still side by side, all the way down the back stretch here for these two drivers.
And look who's inserted himself into the picture. Noah Mayuri now caught back up to these two.
Noah Mayuri easily getting by Brian Dees there. Already looking underneath Ben Lacey, trying to get the third spot away from that 7 machine. They are going to be side by side entering 1. How hard does Ben Lacey battle? He might have just given the position to Noah Mayuri. No fight. Looking low, though. He's going to lose another position as Brian Dees rolling that high line. Still side by side advantage. Ben Lacey.
Field starting to spread out just a little bit more here. Dalton Kilroe continues to lead. Looks like Ty Marasco's really burnt his stuff up, but somebody who hasn't, Noah Mayuri, looking at these lap times. This last go around, Dalton Kilroe ran a 35.027. Ty Marasco ran a 35.672. Noah Mayuri at 34.678, a second faster than Ty Marasco. And just looking at this lap times too, Marasco pit 1 lap sooner than Noah Mayuri did. So, I mean, it's not like these tires are evening out drastically. I think Noah Mayuri just saved a lot better than the 1 car did.
Yeah, Mayuri, his pit stop was rather quick compared to these other guys. Did come down pit road. Noah Mayuri, he takes over P2.
I see it looks like Mayuri got a little loose there. It was able to keep it going. And I noticed, too, somebody that's dropped way off the pace Looks like the 20 car of Robert Lukens, the 99 of William Martin, both have had issues. I thought I saw smoke in turn 2. I was indeed correct. Lukens went sideways off of turn 2. How he didn't wreck it there was beyond me. But he is back to 9th, battling Caden Atkins. All of these guys are starting to struggle for grip here, it looks like. They are battling their cars hard. As you see the 2 cars just barely get up towards the wall. These guys battle out back. And Noah Mary looks to hunt down our race leader.
Robert Lukens looking at the outside of Atkins. Atkins drifted up just a little bit, did not allow that to happen. Oh! Atkins hard to the outside wall. That's going to bring out a caution. Robert Lukens involved. He goes down to the inside wall. Atkins hits the inside wall. Wow.
Just overcorrected. And then he gets that 20 car. And then just like that all the way down into the inside wall. Thank God this is a sim, because if this were real life, I'd say that 2 car would have a concussion.
Yeah, he hit the wall hard. Take a look at the cockpit view. See his wheel just turn so hard to the right. And temperature update, it is 92 degrees Fahrenheit for track temp. Dalton Gilrow, first off pit road. Noah Mary P2, Ty Marasco P3. Ben Lacey 4th, Brian Dees P5.
Following in, Bridger Olson, Michael Thorpe. Let's see everybody else. William Martin, Robert Lukens, Caden Atkins on pit road still. Wouldn't be shocked if that 2 car's on there for a little bit, getting some damage repair, but the 20, the 99 rolling off. Free pass goes to the 6th. Derek Paulson from 24 laps down. Now he's only 23 laps down. So we'll see how he benefits from that one. So he's going to keep in it. You never know. I mean, if something happens and Caden Atkins decides to leave or is unable to continue, well, we could see that 6 car crack the top 10.
And these guys have at least one more lap around before the lights on the pace car go out. I want to talk to Noah Mary. Hey, Noah, it's the boys up at the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, things are absolutely crazy out there. It appears everybody's dealing with a loose race car. And, I've been watching track temp. It keeps getting lower. How is the car handling, though?
It is definitely super loose. Especially on corner exit, it gets really, really loose. So it's been pretty hard to keep the car under control and still make fast laps. But, I feel like it gets a little bit better in the middle of the run, but man, at the beginning and towards the end of the run, it is super loose.
So 48 laps to go. Normally, I'd say probably would be another caution, but with the talent in this league, I'm not so sure we're going to see another one. So what do you think? With you guys going green, 46 laps to go, what do you think the rest of this race is going to play out?
Well, I think it's just going to be a matter of trying to survive as long as you can. I think we're going to have to pit again for fuel. It's going to be towards the end of the run unless somebody tries to split it a little earlier, but it's going to be tough. I think the strategy at the end of this race is going to be pretty wild because I agree. I don't think we're going to get a caution.
All right, we'll let you get back up in there with your team, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
And that was Noah Mayuri, currently sitting P2. We are going to go green. 46 laps left in this race. We have seen 3 cautions for 12 laps. Don Gilrow will bring us back to the green flag here. And there it is. Green flag is out. Don Gilrow. Ty Marasco. Great restart on the bottom. Noah Mayuri struggling just a little bit as this train underneath rolls on by. See the fanning out. They are 3 wide. It's a 17, Brian Dees. 02, Bridger Olson in the 8. Noah Mayuri from bottom to the top. Michael Thorpe, he wanted to make a move, but did not want to take it 4 wide. Thought better of that. Thorpe now rolling, trying to get around that 17. Brian Dees goes up to the top. Michael Thorpe looks down low now.
A lot of drivers staying tight with each other. It's a close battle. Everybody in the Hornet's nest. You see Brian Dees going to work on the outside of Michael Thorpe. That's for 6th. Up ahead, Bridger Olson trying to peek to the outside of Noah Mayuri. If he can get there, he just can't quite get there, but he'll be right back on the back bumper of that 8 car, giving him a shove in the back straightaway.
These guys are so close together. It's Dalton Kilrow, most comfortable position there is right now. Thorpe trying to roll the bottom just a little bit better than Bridger Olson is. Not quite able to get down to the bottom.
See, they're starting to roll the bottom. Everybody is. And you see that 02 in a little more of a run than the 34 behind him.
Well, while everything is kind of single filed out for now, let's go ahead and do it. Turn it up. 35 laps left in the Slide Jawb Racing League race here at Homestead. This is the Slide Jawb's Fast Talk 200. Right now, it is a game of fuel saving.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me in a side there. It sounds like a lot of these guys are starting to clutch in a little bit, trying to save a little bit of fuel to get to the end of this race. And you notice it too with how they're racing. Nobody's really pulling away from anybody. They're all staying consistently together. Nobody's trying to like run away with the lead or any positions. You see that 7 of Ben Lacey to the inside of Ty Marasco just about made contact, but they're kind of staying even, except one driver that's been making moves throughout the field as this has gone on. Bridger Olson up to P2, up to second place, hounding the race leader of Dalton Kilrow.
I think Bridger, he's going all out. He thinks everybody has to pit one more time.
Maybe he saved enough to where he can push for it. Who knows, but he's definitely hounding the race leader of Dalton Kilrow as the rest of the field is still so tight-knit. Oh, and you see the 99 get a little loose. So does the 20. Robert Lugans, William Martin, both together get loose off of turn 2. Both are able to correct themselves and get back rolling, but it's going to cost some spots for the 99 and cost some time for the 20.
Still up front, Bridger Olson, a little bit faster than race leader. It was not by much at all. 1/10 was the difference. A 0-1-8 out of Kilrow, a 0-0-8 out of Olson.
Still sideways is the 99 of William Martin. 5th place right now, but probably not too much longer. If he keeps this up, he just keeps getting loose off of 2 and just about bends it every time.
I think Kilrow start turn it up just a little bit. As you had mentioned a few laps ago, nobody was really pulling away from each other. These top 2 still under a blanket, but they put just a little bit of a gap between themselves and Ben Lacey. Top 2 battling. Still, Bridger Olson not really pushing the issue too much to try to get around Dalton Kilrow. And I'm wondering if now is when Olson might be saving just a little bit. You talk at a lot about at tracks like Daytona and Talladega about fuel saving, that if you're the car out front, it's really impossible to save fuel. And if you're in the draft, you could save a ton of fuel. Here, not really the same, but if you have the draft, you still don't have to burn as much fuel as another guy who's not in the draft. Bridger Olson not pushing the issue at all. I think he might just be fuel saving here. These top 2, they have backed down a bit from where they were. Ben Lacey start to reel them in ever so slightly. And here we go. Bridger Olson gets super loose off turn 4. He's going to save it. Ben Lacey to the inside, making a move for P2. Still side by side. Olson's going to have a better run off the corner. He's pinching Lacey down just a little bit. Lacey backs out of it. Bridger Olsen getting right back into the groove he was in. I say that, and he gets sideways off 4 once again. You heard from Noah Mayuri while we were interviewing him under the last caution about these cars getting super loose off exit. Bridger Olsen, see that from him, just getting so loose and sideways. Really out of turn 4. We'll see this time if it's 3 times through turn 4 in a row. He does a much better job that time. And this time not losing any ground to Dalton Kilrow. In fact, gaining it. Looking underneath Kilrow. Bridger Olsen to the inside. He is clear. Gets back in line here. Ben Lacey being patient as well. Bridger Olsen once again right there to the back bumper of Kilrow. These top 5 all under a blanket. Everybody else all spread out. This is the only battle going on here. Noah Mayuri moves to the inside. Michael Thorpe Jr. Thorpe running the outside. Gonna back off. Give Mayuri the position. And Thorpe actually comes down pit road. Robert Lukens was just down pit road as well. I think these guys, they know the fuel window is open. Short pitting here is a couple of drivers. See if anybody else follows suit from up front. If these guys are comfortable with where they're at. At the moment, it's Bridger Olsen still looking underneath Dalton Kilrow. They'll be side by side for a moment. That outside lane momentum from Dalton Kilrow did actually not clear him. As Olsen still to the inside going into 1. They're going to be side by side. See if Olsen can power down without getting loose. He does. And these guys just cannot get away from each other now. Kilrow doing a great job pinching Olsen down. Olsen taking a very shallow exit, but that's not going to hurt him at all as he is out front by a nose from Dalton Kilrow. And now clear of that 41 machine. See if Ben Lacey.
Oh! Look at the wall! Get the wall in front of the leader! He's gonna slam the inside wall. I was just about to say to think. He rebounded from all of that. It sounded like he just said his cat jumped up on his keyboard, but I was just... Man, I was just about to say the timing of it all. He had just fought back after being wrecked early on to get back to the race lead, and that will bring the caution out. Stopped on the apron to tow.
Actually, Dalton Kilrow with an issue.
Incident.
I think the caution actually came out because of Kilrow. Let's see what happened. Kilrow got loose.
Kilrow was running, I believe, 5th there. Man, he hit that bump there. He caught that bump and got some airtime.
Kilrow doing a great job not coming back across the track. Couldn't tell who that was. One of his teammates, at least. Great job not coming back across and collecting any more cars than that.
Just looking back to see what happened with the 0-2 of Bridger Olsen. He gets to the lead, finally gets out in front of the 41. And then that hit right there, there was some contact between Kilrow and Olsen. And that's what slowed up that 41 so much, and I wonder if that might have done anything to upset the car. And that way, when he goes through the corner like that, just makes it that much harder to turn and winds up spinning him out. But not the ending that this 02 car wanted, especially after how hard he fought to get back up to the front here.
I have to say, if it was this cat jumping on his keyboard, I know very well how hard it is to manage sim racing and having pets around as well. Very
Going back to listen to the driver audio, that is what happened. The cat jumped across the keyboard, which, hearing something like that, of all the things that can cost you a race, your cat jumping on your keyboard is one of the things you don't want. But that's a wonder too if those MFRD boys might have paid his cat to go in there and jump on that keyboard, help them out just a little bit there.
I have to say, Dawson, I think, it's just kind of trying to think of some things throughout me being on iRacing, sim racing. I've been around since 2016. And different things. Like we have 3 cats and 1 dog, and the only thing that really comes to mind of one of our pets messing up what I was doing was thankfully a practice session at Talladega. I was in, I believe it was the trucks, and our dog, she is just a lovable dog. It used to be a ball of energy when she was younger, and she was running up to me, stepped on my brake pedal as I was leading a train at Talladega. Like I said, in practice, thankfully, and it spun me out. I went to the inside wall and crashed pretty hard. And, I definitely know what it's like to try to manage sim racing and pets at the same time. It can be challenging.
Yeah, having a dog is one of those things where it could easily cause issues, but obviously, I'm lucky my dogs don't cause any issues when I'm racing. They're usually laying up on the bed, way away from the sim. So, but that's one of the things that's different compared to real life racing is there's a lot that could happen different from a real life race car that could really throw you for a loop in sim racing. And it just could be something as innocuous as a cable coming loose. It could be a wheel disconnecting. It could be, just anything happening. So there's a lot of different variables that can cause a change for someone while sim racing. So definitely throws a different wrench to the plans compared to real life racing sometimes.
Another thing that comes to my mind there, Dawson, is back in 2020 when COVID had shut everything down. NASCAR actually had jumped over to doing a lot of stuff on iRacing. Denny Hamlin's daughter hitting the power button on the remote of the TV. I believe he was leading the race too, and had a big crash that took him out of it.
Yeah, and I also think of Alex Bowman. I think he had his dog jump up on his lap or on his sim rig as well. Like he had an issue with his pet as well. Just one of those things. Of course, all the friends and everybody we met along the way doing sim racing with, they've had those same issues too, where they have a pet just pops in, gets on the pedals, gets up on them, and just causes an issue. So, just is what it is. Stuff happens, and that's what happened there with Bridger Olson, who is going to find themselves 9th place right now, with Derek Paulson still running laps, 17 laps behind. So should be close to making it to where if Derek Paulson can keep going here, he can get up to 9th place. Pace car takes the left turn down pit road, coming to the green flag. Ben Lacey, Noah Mary, the front row.
Noah Mary almost looked like he spun his tires just a little bit. Still P2. Brian D's looking to the bottom. Not able to make a move. Ben Lacey comfortably up front so far.
With 15 laps to go, Ben Lacey leads the way. Noah Mayuri second. Brian Dees is third. Ty Marasco finds himself fourth, and Dalton Kilrow rounding out the top 5. Heading into 1 and 2 with 14 laps remaining. Brian Dees gonna try to get around Noah Mayuri as fast as he can because he thinks he can go for it. There's the 8 car. He gets a little loose on corner exit. He has to chase it down to the bottom. Brian Dees taking over second, gonna hunt down race leader Ben Lacey.
We know Brian Dees has been fast all race long. See if he can chase down Ben Lacey.
Ben Lacey looking to get his second win on the season after winning at Phoenix. Meanwhile, back behind him, Brian Dees is looking to become the 6th different winner in 6 races. Noah Mayuri's right there in third as well to capitalize as well. He has yet to find victory lane this season. Dalton Kilrow, he won the Clash, and he also won at Pocono, so he'd be looking to go for his second win on the season as well.
So many factors in play right now. Ben Lacey doing a great job holding his own. He was the fastest car that last lap. And by fastest car, he put down the session best, a 33.035.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are running their best laps of the session here. Ben Lacey at 33.035, Brian Dees at 33.073. Mayuri has just once again improved his best lap time, as has Brian Dees. They were both able to improve their lap times again. Dalton Kilrow running close to his as well. Same with Michael Thorpe Jr. Ty Marasco just had his fastest lap of the session as well. So it's all over the place with all these drivers setting these fast laps so they continue on. I think it's 123 laps in. We're coming up on 10 laps to go, and guys are still setting their fastest laps of the race. That time by, the 17 was faster, just barely, but he was still faster. Mayuri was also faster.
Just look at Brian Dees. He's not really rolling the high line. He's been in the middle lane so far. As these guys are getting settled in on what we believe could be the final run now at the bottom. Drifting up just half a lane up. He's on the gas. He is within striking distance of Ben Lacey. Once again, faster than race leader and points leader Ben Lacey. Ben Lacey moves to the high side.
As this happens, battle for third. Noah Mayuri slipping up at the top lane allows Dalton Kilrow to the inside. This is for third. The battle still heating up for positions all over the racetrack as you see a battle between Michael Thorpe and Ty Marasco. That one being for 5th. Through 3 and 4, Brian Dees still closing on the race leader.
Looks like Ben Lacey was trying to break the draft down the front straightaway. Not something you really see here at Homestead.
Great corner exit for Dees. He's got to run down the backstretch. He's coming down to the back bumper. Ben Lacey going to have to take an offensive line into 3 and 4. He'll take back to the bottom. But Brian Dees is there. Battle still dooring each other. Thorpe and Marasco side by side for 5th as this continues on. 8 laps to go at the line. 7 now. Here comes Brian Dees peeking to the outside of Ben Lacey.
Brian Dees trying to use as much.
Smoke up ahead there. Might have been the 20 of Robert Lukens. It looks like he spun off of turn 2. Was just about stopped on the straightaway, but there was no caution. The race stays green, coming to 6 to go, and Dees is starting to slip though.
And I was watching Dawson trying to figure out the different lanes, and I was noticing, looking at the bottom, when Brian Dees was rolling the bottom lane, he was coming up the track a lot earlier than Ben Lacey. Obviously, with the amount of laps left, there's not a whole lot to worry about with tires.
happening on the apron? Michael Thorpe Jr. gets it corrected. He got a little contact from Ty Marasco, but he kept it off the wall and he kept going straight. That gives Marasco 5th place. That drops Thorpe all the way back to 6th in the grasp now of William Martin. And William Martin and Derek Paulson get loose off of 4. They're trying to wreck before the white.
Spin, Robert Lukens. Around, he's in the track. He's
in front of the race leader, clobbering him. Oh my God! Ben Lacey just clobbered the 20 of Robert Lukens. That changes everything.
Oh my gosh.
It's the second lap in a row the 20 car spins on the backstretch exiting 2. This time he stops it, he gets up against the wall, and then he starts rolling. I don't know why he didn't just keep it on the wall there. Oh, and just nowhere to go for the 7 of Ben Lacey. Just nowhere for the 7 of Ben Lacey to go. He tries to avoid to go low, and just no shot to miss it. Robert Lukens said his gas pedal got stuck, but just nowhere. Man, oh man.
And that one bites hard.
And Ben Lacey looked to be escaping, getting away from Brian Dees, looked to have that race won, and just nowhere for that 7 to go when that 20 car starts rolling. Heartbreak, heartbreak, heartbreak.
On the other hand, Noah Mayuri will inherit the race lead. Ty Marasco, P2. William Martin, first off pit road, will be P3. It appears Brian Dees, Dalton Kilrow, and Michael Thorpe will make the top 5. That one is a tough one to swallow for Ben Lacey.
So I'm wondering here, we see Noah Mayuri and Ty Marasco staying out 15 lap older tires. As William Martin pitting there, coming off first off pit road, Brian Dees off second. I'm wondering how did this 99 get out earlier? Coming in so much later, I'm wondering if it was a 2-tire stop. Indeed it was. Left side's only for the 99 of William Martin. So an interesting call. That'll put Brian Dees in 4th on the freshest 4-tire stop.
This is going to turn out to be a very close finish. Because Mayuri and Marasco, they're not just going to pull to the side and let those guys with fresher tires run away with it. They have to try something as well. I believe we're going to get the 1 to green this time at the line.
I think there was maybe 2 people that were happy with that caution coming out. I'd say the 17 of Brian Dees and maybe even the 6 of Derek Paulson, because Derek Paulson is right there on the window of getting up to 9th. So as long as he keeps rolling here, that's another position for the 6 car. And you know, any position matters if you can get it. So if Derek Paulson can get up into that 9th position, that's an extra point. And that point could very well play a factor as this season goes on.
Yeah, we've seen time and time again, every point matters, and Derek Paulson doing it the way that he kind of has to right now. 22 laps down, obviously not in the run for the race win, but just trying to gain points ever so slightly the best way he can, and that's by capitalizing on the unfortunate mishaps of others.
So we got 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. Noah Mary, Ty Marasco did not pit that time by. William Martin took left sides only. The rest of the field, they took tires. The pace car hooks it left down the pit road. Noah Maori's going to lead the field. The first overtime attempt here at Homestead. And a great restart by Noah Maori.
Look at William Martin.
Charging hard on the inside there. Yeah, he's got a good shot here.
Already clear of Marasco.
Now he's got one more to go. Noah Maori's up ahead. Here comes Michael Thorpe Jr. He's getting to the inside of Ty Marasco. Marasco's going to get a little loose, it looks like. He's struggling on the older tires. Noah Maori, though, is going to lead him at the white. One more lap here. Michael Thorpe coming to the inside of William Martin.
This should make Noah Maori a little bit excited to see these guys battling behind. It's going to be very easy.
Say that yet. It's going to take the 34 slipping up here. Look at the run. Wrecking in the back. Ty Marasco on the wall, but look at the run. The 34. Michael Thorpe Jr. has heading to the back straightaway. Coming into 3 and 4. He's going to have to do everything to get to him. Here comes Michael Thorpe through 3 and 4. Is he going to have enough? He's going to get to the back bumper. Maori's going to block. Coming down to it at the line. It's going to be, I think it was Michael Thorpe Jr. Michael Thorpe Jr. gets it by 2 1,000ths of a second over Noah Maori.
Wow. What a great job Michael Thorpe did to get past William Martin as fast as he possibly could. I'll tell you what, early on in this race, watching Thorpe, he seemed like he was one that was struggling the most with the looseness of the car. If you had asked me earlier, if I changed my pick to Michael Thorpe, I would have said no. He was very, very loose. Race winner here tonight. And we head to Dawson, who has Brian Dees.
Well, we're here with Brian Dees, a third place run here today. It's went back and forth between that run there at the end on going to the front, back and back off a little bit. What more do you think you needed there to get up there and go for the win?
I'm not sure. I thought tires would be the call there on that last caution. But it just takes too many laps to get the tires up to temperature again. So every time I tried pushing it to get up there and catch them, it just kept getting real loose on me, and I'd have to back out. So I don't know. I mean, Noah had the long run speed all day. Thought I'd be able to pass him. I know Thorpe pitted as well for tires on that last stop, so I knew he was going to be tough to beat. Didn't get a great restart, so that probably didn't help my chances either. Kind of wish it would have before we got that late caution with like 20 to go. I I think I might have been one of the few that could actually make it on fuel. That's why I dropped all the way to the back there. I was clutching, saving fuel. Feel like I had enough. So I don't know about the other guys that were up there with me, but yeah, kind of like I said, wish it would have went green that whole way that last run, and could have saw what happened then.
Alrighty, well, a third place finish nonetheless, still on the podium. You have anybody you want to shout out? Sponsors, teammates? What gets it done for you in that 17 car?
Yeah, I got to thank Michael Falk at MF Racing Designs. He's the sponsor for the team. Also want to shout out my teammates at MFRD Racing. You know, I'm not usually too great on strategy and making the right calls. I do some pretty stupid things sometimes, so nice to have them to kind of yell at me and tell me no, don't do that. So yeah, just everybody involved with MF Racing Designs.
Alrighty, well, congrats again. Third place finish for Brian Dees here at Homestead.
All right, and thanks to you guys up in the booth as well, making us look good every week. I like going back the next day, watching the race. It's a good time. You guys put on a good show.
Alrighty. Brian Dees, third place here at Homestead.
And that we go to Noah Mary. Noah, is that a tough one to swallow there?
Oh yeah, that I knew going into 3 he was gonna have a really good chance. I was hoping that he would battle with Martin a little bit more, but Martin just didn't have the tires for it, and I really didn't either. But that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I probably should have taken a higher line through 3 and 4 and get a better exit, but you know, it was close. I still take second. That's still not a bad day.
Well, this race, it lot of green flag runs. Of course, loose race cars we saw, and you know, you and I talked. We both agreed that we didn't think any more cautions were going to come out. A couple more cautions did come out. So, how much did that change strategy towards the end?
Yeah, I was really hoping it would go green. I felt like I was far better on medium to long runs than I was on short runs, and you know, ended up with a relatively short run there at the end. For whatever reason, I just couldn't get going on fresh tires. But once everybody had kind of killed their tires, I was able to move up through the field. But you know, when that last caution came out, it just, I mean, you've got a pit. It's you know, we needed fuel, and I had thought before the restart, the second to last caution, I thought that I would have a pretty good chance of making it on fuel, or I didn't think I would have a good chance. But as the run went on, I thought I could maybe barely make it to the line if I saved a little bit. But you know, it is what it is. It happens. But really, really fun race. I am not going to be sad to not race this setup again. This was definitely one of the toughest setups I've ever raced on iRacing, but it was a lot of fun nonetheless.
Well, I got to ask, who gets it done behind the 8 machine? Who do you have to give a shout out and thank?
I just want to thank all my teammates at P Performance Motorsports, and our sister team Next Racing, V Speed, BTDY Racing League, Glitch Energy, Be Nice Designs for the paint scheme, Red Sim Design for everything they do in the league, and I want to thank you guys for broadcasting and you guys do an amazing job. So thank you for that.
All right, P2 finish for Noah Mayuri. And I did read somewhere that was the closest finish in Slide Jawb history. And I imagine because you can't really get much closer than 2/1000ths of a second.
Yeah, I mean, you can get 1/1000th of a second, but even then, that would be a hard one to pull off. But what do you say we get a word in with the race winner? The man who was able to pull off a successful move, the Ricky Craven in the situation here, Michael Thorpe Jr. Congratulations on the win, and man, you did it in exciting fashion.
Thank you very much.
So that last caution there, you made the stop. You decided to go down pit road and get some tires, and that decision wound up winning the race. What was that like? Seeing everybody else come down with you and starting back about 5th, thinking you might have had to do a little bit of work to get to the front.
Well, I was watching everybody else on fresher tires too, because I was trying to make my own little strategy at towards the middle of the race. It was gonna work, but when that caution before that came out, it kind of screwed it up. And I was just saying, but at least like lap 110, lap 15, you got to pit here. And that caution came out, and then just decided to pit in. I wasn't really concerned because I was watching everybody like I said before, watching everybody on the restarts and everything. They were running a little bit harder, so I just had to be more patient and just try to save it on the start.
Yeah, and I mean, just watching throughout the whole run there, that entire race, it was a battle for you. You were really fighting that car this entire race. A lot of times I'd look back up and you were about loose, about sideways off the corners. So, definitely a tricky track there. How did you adjust there as the run went on to be able to kind of get back up and compete?
Well, I just had to actually get used to with the car on the long run and just monitor my tires as much as I can, because I was going off of like at least 10 laps on what the tires are gonna feel like from each stop, and just 10, 20, 30, and around 30, they just started to wear out pretty bad. That's when I started to get real loose, and I knew I needed to back up my corners and everything just to get it through the corners.
Yeah, but you were able to pull it off there in the end. So, first place finished for that 34 car. Anybody want to shout out? Teammates, sponsors, what was able to get you in victory lane here tonight?
Definitely shout out to GGA, my old man, Amsoil for sticking by with the whole team. And man, Bassinger, gotta give it up to him. I hate that he wasn't here tonight, but gotta give it to him. That man, he put in a lot of work for me and Austin, Ben, all these guys coming here and do this. We really owe him.
Alrighty, well, congratulations again, Michael Thorpe, 6th different winner on the season, and he finds victory lane here at Homestead. Well, for once, my pick came pretty close, and I got to say that was probably the closest my pick has ever come to winning. But in the end, Noah Mayuri losing it by just a hair, just an inch. 2/1000th of a second, a very exciting finish to this race. Josh, what are your thoughts about that conclusion of that race?
Oh man, I'll tell you, I don't even really know how to process everything that happened. I know for Ben Lacey, that is probably going to haunt him until next week when he can finally put this one behind him by focusing on the next one. You know, for Ben Lacey, that one is probably just toughest loss he's ever gonna have, and it re-racked everybody, changed things up, and for Noah Mayuri, that has to be a tough way to lose a race for him as well. And I can't wrap my head around everything that happened. But one thing I can say is congrats to Michael Thorpe Jr. on that win. He struggled all race long, it seemed, and just able to get it done when it matters the most.
It was definitely a fight to get to the end there. Definitely a constant battle. And at the end of it, he was able to make it work, and he found victory lane by just the slimmest of margins. He just got there at the end of it, and he was able to make it to victory lane. So it was very exciting. A lot of issues, a lot of guys getting loose, and a lot of sliding. But after that, they recovered, and some of those guys were able to get through it, and we saw it happen. Michael Thorpe was be the one to take the top spot.
Well, we look at schedule next week. 45 laps around one of the biggest road course races that NASCAR goes to as far as show-wise attendance. Watkins Glen. And I'll tell you what, I'm not a road course guy at all, Dawson, but iRacing, they made some updates to the Cup cars at road courses. And when we came to Watkins Glen week for official races, I had an absolute blast. And I probably ran the best I had ever done at a road course at Watkins Glen specifically. And it was a fun week on iRacing. I'm looking forward to watching this one a lot. I mean, first of all, these guys put on a great show every single week. And, it's really going to show us who is a road course racer. I don't really know how these guys handle on a road course. I have to imagine with the way the Cup car drives on road courses now, it may help out some guys who aren't used to making those right-handers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Watkins Glen is a phenomenal road course. I never really did fully see that. Then my guys were opened to me by a friend of ours. And after that, I have loved Watkins Glen. I've loved watching it. I've loved racing it. I'm not a road course guy by any means in terms of racing it, but Watkins Glen is a phenomenal track, and I am excited to see what these guys can put together to go run that road course. One of the crown jewels of NASCAR, and see what we will get as a result out of it.
Dawson, I think that's going to wrap it up from us here in Homestead, Miami, Florida. But I mean, what a great race this Slide Jawbs Fast Talk 200 was. Of course, going back to Slide Jawbs Fast Talk, that is Slide Jawb JAWB, and you can find their podcast on Spotify. And check that out. And definitely tune in next week to Watkins Glen. If you don't really like road courses, I think Watkins Glen is one you are definitely not going to want to miss. And I'm already looking forward to it, and it's a week away. But
not even just Watkins Glen, but you talk about the entire lineup here for JCTV as a whole this week. There's a lot of good racing that is really about ready to come in to play here. Tomorrow night, JCTV broadcasts the Marathon Racing League for the Juggernaut Truck Series, where they will go to Talladega during their playoff run here, coming to the end of their season. The In the Pits News Truck Series is just kicking into high gear. They head to Auto Club this Saturday night. And, of course, we mentioned Watkins Glen here for the Slide Jawb Racing League next Tuesday. A lot of racing lined up, a lot of exciting action, and I cannot wait for all of it.
Well, we thank you for tuning in and watching. I always got to thank you fans for watching, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. Drivers as well. Thanks to all the drivers that put on the show for us. The admins behind the Slide Jawb Racing League. Dawson, thank you for coming on board and commentating with me the last couple of weeks, as Nick Dornick has been busy. Hopefully, we can get him back in the booth. Might be fun to do a 3-man booth with both of you guys. And yeah, I'm Josh Coppernell, and signing off here. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.